So the autumn spending review has been announced today, and there are expectations of changes to local government, health and housing in the capital, and the Finance Minister Jane Hutt has been providing updates on the city. The autumn spending review has become increasingly as important as the spring budget. The Finance Minister visited a local housing development funded by the Welsh Government to demonstrate her emphasis on social housing in Wales, as well as focusing on health, social care and the new City Deal support from Westminster. We've had a few major points mentioned today. First is the City Deal. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, we're very glad that the Chancellor has recognised that we've got a very good proposal coming forward. That's as a result of Welsh Government working with the local authorities led by Cardiff. The capital region, of course, has got huge opportunities, and now we need to see the detail, how much the UK Government is going to contribute to an infrastructure fund which could transform this part of Wales, and then see how we can transfer that to bids and proposals in the rest of Wales.
And as you mentioned before, obviously there's been a big focus on a funding floor. What does that mean for people in Cardiff?
What we have to do is secure better, fairer funding for Wales, for the whole of Wales, through this funding floor. It's a welcome step forward, but we need much more clarification of the detail. I mean, what it means, for people in terms of the Welsh Government and our finances, is that we don't get enough fair share from the government at the moment, and they've recognised this. But we need to make sure that this is for the long term. They've said it's just for this Parliament, so we're concerned about that. I now want an intergovernmental agreement as to what this will mean, and we need that fair funding so we can support the citizens of Cardiff.
And as you said as well, there's been a bit of a flip in terms of the tax credits. What does that mean for the average person sat at home in the city?
Well, there's been huge concern and fear about these cuts to tax credits. And everyone welcomed the fact that the House of Lords took a strong position, and that was widespread across the Lords, and people were so relieved because it meant they were going to be pushed into poverty, out of work, where they are working and trying to make ends meet. So people today saying it was either heating or eating. So that they have done a U-turn. They've listened to people. They've listened to us, I believe, also in the Welsh Labour government.
One of your main points today is housing, obviously, being here, and public services and health and that kind of thing. There's going to be cuts, like you said, over the next 5 years. What does that mean for those kind of services?
Well, that's why we believe we have to look at the whole picture of our public services, not just about health. If you don't invest in social care as well, and in public health, which is being cut by the UK government, and you invest in housing as well, particularly social housing, so that you give people better health through good housing, as we can see from the fantastic housing here today. It's all about prevention, and that's the strong message in our budget that we'll be taking forward on the 8th of December.
And how are you feeling overall?
Well, daunted by the fact we've got a tough budget to set on the 8th of December, such short notice, such a late spending review and more cuts, but glad about the U-turn on tax credits and glad about the Cardiff City Deal.
And then what are you hoping moving forward then after the 8th of December?
Well, then I present my budget and it is going to be about tough choices, but I hope it will include further investments in housing developments like this here that's been developed by United Welsh Housing.
So the main changes seem to be in social housing and the City Deal, but perhaps the biggest news for Cardiff is the turnaround for tax credits in the city. This is Laura Allen from Moira Terrace for Hello Cardiff.